Welcome back, guys, to Phoenix Wright, Spirit of Justice, where Phoenix Wright is doing a therapy session for Uendo Tornado. At this point in time, with 10% still to take down, the noise level keeps on dropping. Shall we continue and get it to 0 and find out more? Yes, I stubbed my pinky toe on the TV. But what of it? Why is it so important to you? So the noise went down, but it hasn't completely disappeared yet. Which means he's still hiding something. Okay then, let's try this tactic instead. Uendo, why was the TV moved there? Shisho must have moved it so we could watch my routine. But what a place to put it! Right in the middle of the doorway like that! I didn't want to bump into it again, so I put it back where it belonged. Performances on stage can be viewed in the dressing room using that TV. That's right! It's a closed-circuit monitor that shows the stage. Okay, the crime scene report has been updated. The victim's die message is clearly visible and includes additional info now about the TV and the closed-circuit monitoring. I see. Now what? I can't find anything else out of place. And I still haven't gotten the noise level down to 0 yet. Simon, I'm still getting noise here, but I don't see anything else fishy. This is precisely why amateurs are such a bother. Sorry. I'm in no mood to play nursemaid here, but that's what it takes to save the sober shop. Hoi, Uendo. Here's a curiosity for you. This table Master Tornado was slumped over looks like it was moved. Yes, you happened to bump into it while you were moving the TV back. Oh, am I? Yes, you're right. The TV hit the table and Shisho's body moved with a jolt. That's when I first realized that Shisho was dead. Oh, but how scared I was. I see. Thank you. We're finally getting a more precise picture of how the body was discovered. But I wager you need to put the spurs to Uendo just a trifle longer. Right. I can't keep asking Simon to bail me out like this. It's time for me to regain my footing and really stand on my own. Uendo, what you said just now about discovering your master's death, could you please describe all of that again for the court in detail? Alright. But before you do, let me just plug in the latest information. Okay. After my performance, I went to visit Shisho, still happy. We got an extra statement completely. I called to him from outside the room, still happy. But he didn't reply. There had no emotions at all when opening the door, before he was sleeping. I tried to enter the dressing room, but stubbed my toe on the TV. Yep, that would make you angry. That is true. Nice animation for it too. When I put the TV back in its normal spot, I realized that Shisho was dead. Seeing him slumped over that cluttered table. Oh, Shisho. Okay. I was like, well, this is our statement. This has got to be it, right? But what am I looking at? The surprise amplifies when he sees him on the table, but the picture makes him looking like he's looking directly at the cards. And that's causing him to have even more surprise. In fact, the picture makes him look like he's actually reorganizing the cards or doing something with the cards rather than him. So surprise is amplified. Could that be it? That's odd. After the initial shock of finding the victim dead, you reacted with surprise again. What was it that surprised you, Uendo, besides your master's death? What do you mean? What's more, you were even more surprised the second time than the first. What could have surprised you more than finding your late master? Search me, your little finger must have made a mistake.
Silence.
The girl is as sharp as a trout, to be sure. But her ability to hear people's emotions is absolute. Now get to remembering, Uendo. What was it that surprised you? That was a compliment, right? A trout sharp? Well, Wait, what? No, we've pushed him too hard and now he's mentally all over the place. His emotions are completely out of control. Out of control? Care to explain how that's relevant? You know, normally I listen for the hidden emotions in the witness's voice, right? From there, I look for inconsistencies between their testimony and those emotions. But sometimes a person's feelings can run too high, making it hard to get proper readings. Well, that's how your Matrix programs works. Fascinating. Ordinarily, it's just one emotion that runs out of control. But it seems there's nothing ordinary about it this time. Aye. After my performance, I went to visit Shisho. Did you now? We can't actually do anything. Angry, now sad. I called him from outside the room. But he didn't reply. Surprised when he opened the door? I thought he was sleeping. I tried to enter the dressing room, but stubbed my toe on the TV. When I put the TV back in its normal spot, I realized that Shisho was dead. Seeing him slumped over that cluttered table. Oh, Shisho. Everything's everywhere. So you can't do anything with this anymore. I knew it. What's got your knickers all in a bunch now? Uendo has multiple emotions running out of control at the same time. I've never seen anything like this, ever. How does one bring a situation like this back under control? I'll have to find the root cause of this tangled mess before I can treat him. If I can identify what is causing this emotional rampage, then I can touch probe L to dive in further. I'll need to point to what I think is the root cause and touch probe X again. Through this process, I can identify exactly what's causing Uendo so much distress. Well, you look for the source of the issue, right? And that will help bring his emotions back under control. In that case, let's get started, shall we? Alright, I can't guarantee success, but it's definitely worth a shot. Time to look for the root cause of Uendo's rampaging emotions. Right, well, I'm going to go straight to the last statement, because things only got triggered at this point. Now, what could set him off like that? It's the dual surprise of seeing the cards. That's what I've got to look at here, is that the cards are sending him on this rampage. Coup de cards indeed. Got it. I get it now. The cards were the root of it all. Don't try to deny it. You can't hide your feelings from me. The dying message that was left at the scene of the crime is what was causing your distress. And if the dying message was the cause of all those feelings, then that means the phrase Owen Forth must mean something to you. No. Oh, cut through. There. Noise level 0. Finally. Don't you satter at me. The dying message consists of 2 words, Owen and Forth. But neither of these 2 words have anything to do with this witness. This topic warrants no further argument. Sure, there may not seem to be any direct connection between Uendo and the message. For now. But why don't you wait and decide what's necessary after you hear my theory? I trust you've hit upon something, Athena. Yep, if my theory is right, we can finally solve the case of Uendo and the mysterious Owen Forth. Well, go on then. I can already tell this promises to be interesting. And now, please share your theory with the court, Miss Sykes. There was something puzzling to me about Uendo's out-of-control emotions just now. Namely, that there were 3 distinct reactions present. I'd never seen that before, and I wondered how it could be possible. Is there a conclusion to this meandering musing of yours? Hold your horses, I'm getting there. So could a person flip between 3 distinct emotions of such intensity like a switch? In the end, I concluded that it just wasn't possible. So that's it, is it? A bit unconventional, but I'll grant that it's possible within the realm of psychology. Within the realm of psychology? That's our hint. I'm afraid you'll have to explain it for the old man up here on the bench. Your Honor, my theory is that Uendo is a robot Has supernatural powers. Oh, they make sure you get the right answer here. Has multiple personalities. So robot is in the realm of psychology now. With so many distinct personas, it's clear to me that Uendo is dissociative identity disorder. What does that even mean? Your Honor, the defense would treat this trial as a child's jest. Multiple personality disorder? A preposterous proposition indeed. Would you not agree, witness? How did she know? How did she figure it out? Polkunka! I can't believe it. I did it! I did it, Simon! I've read papers on it before, but to think I see a case of it for myself. Blimey. Akugo artists tell stories as different characters, but as different personalities. Hey you, lawyer girl! You got a problem with us, huh? No problem at all. This is all very hard to believe, but now that we've established that the witness has multiple personalities, could each of them please introduce themselves to this court? Uendo Tornado. I'm a Rakugo storyteller, as you know. Hello everyone, Patches, the friendly jester here. Kisagawa, courtesan. And is that all of you? Yes, that's all of us. So there are 3 personalities in total. Uendo, Patches, and Kisagawa, huh? 3 personalities. Well, Simon, what do you think now? That's your one lucky duck. Just be glad that we're dense enough to help you out. Can you just straight up say I did great for a change? You appear to be quite proud of yourself, defense. But all you've done is infringe upon the privacy of the witness. I couldn't disagree more, prosecutor. Now that we know there are 3 personalities, a new way for us to interpret the meaning of a certain piece of evidence has arisen. A new interpretation. Oh, now I'm very curious. What is this piece of evidence you're talking about, Miss Sykes? Knowing what we know about Uendo and his personalities, this now makes perfect sense. What makes perfect sense? I'm not following. I mean, personally, that does. Just making sure there's nothing else going on with Simon's statement, etc. The invitation, show commemorating Uendo's things, sober glutton, yada yada. I gotta say it's the cards, but then that would be my guess. There's multiple personalities, but maybe what if there's one extra? I'm gonna go for it.
Take that!
The Karuta cards! That's right, Your Honor. Recall the original dying message left at the scene. We didn't have a clue as to what Owen Forth could have possibly meant. But now, with this new information about Uendo and his personalities, isn't it possible that Owen Forth actually means a secret 4th personality of Uendo's? A personality named Owen? I was right on. What? Polkunka! Uendo must have kept his dissociative identity disorder from us because he didn't want to be associated in any way with that dying message. No, that's not why. We kept our disorder a secret for a different reason altogether. We've been taking advantage of our affliction to act our various Rakugo characters. If word of this got out, well, our reputation as a Rakugo artist would be tarnished, as would the Tornado name. That's why we kept it a secret from everyone except members of the Tornado School. But really, there is no 4th personality. It's just the 3 of us in here. A plausible enough sounding story. But it doesn't prove you didn't rearrange the cards, does it? But... I will concede that it is highly likely that the witness rearranged the cards. Is Prosecutor Samadi actually agreeing with us? However, is it not also possible the accused killed Master Tornado? And then left that message in order to frame the witness? Ah! And upon noticing the cards when he found the victim's body, Uendo rearranged them.
Silence!
A fantastic tale, but a tale nonetheless. No one outside the Tornado School knew about Uendo's multiple personalities. Uendo just finished saying so himself. Ah, that is true, but ultimately meaningless point. The witness was only in the dressing room for 2 to 3 minutes. That's far too little time to commit murder, wouldn't you say?
Objection!
Then who's to say he couldn't have done it before his discovery?
Objection!
Ah, that spring chick memory of yours. Have you already forgotten Prosecutor Blackwell's testimony? Simon's testimony? Oh! Gello escorted me to the dressing room, but we heard the sound of Rakugo being performed from within. Thinking the master was rehearsing, we decided to wait in the hall until he was done. That's right. Until just a few moments before Uendo entered the dressing room, Taifu Tornado was confirmed to still be alive. Ah! None! Not only that, but Uendo was on stage until just before he discovered the body. A bulletproof alibi that I've already confirmed with several audience members. Oh, no! I also heard that his Rakugo performance that day was a steaming pile of... Well, you get the picture. Yes, I'm afraid so. Really stunk up the stage, I did. Haha! And yet I have a perfect alibi. Indeed. Why not land the coup de grace on the defense by describing your alibi, witness? Okie dokie smoky! Uendo's alibi. I was on stage until just moments before I went into the dressing room. The entire audience was my witness. But my performance was a huge bust. Not a single soul laughed. I'll never be able to live down how terribly I bombed during that very important show. Uendo was on stage before he found the body, so he could not have committed this crime. It is time to let it all go, defense, and move on. Ah! Well, get this, Prosecutor Sam Maddie. The Right Anything Agency never gives up. We fight to the bitter end. Fair. Allow me to say this once more. Let it go and move on. And allow me to say once more, I'm never giving up. Let it go and never. This is pointless. Yes, it is, you child. You should have taken advantage of this opportunity while you could, you foolish child. You're the child here. Your worthless convictions only serve to prolong the accused's suffering. If words will not sway you, then perhaps pain will. Oh no! Anything but this! I'm being assaulted again. What's the big deal, Prosecutor Sad Maddie? That was but a small dose of punishment for your misguided convictions. Are you now a bit more inclined to give up as instructed? As if! In that case, you must require another dose. Not bloody likely. I don't give two flips about your beliefs. But if Psychstoner would submit you here, I wouldn't be able to eat good sober anymore. That's right! For Mr. Wet's future and Prosecutor Blackwell's stomach, I will never give up. You will rue those words, defense. Of that I can assure you. Thank you for protecting me, Simon. Shut it down in midair. I'm guessing he's got like a stock of those bands, of bead bands in his pocket or something. Keeps just resupplying. I was on stage until just moments before I went into the dressing room. Keep pressing then. Let's get through our statements. How can we be sure it was you who was on that stage because we already have witness testimony? Are you asking whether it could have been some imposter? I guess so. Unlike a big arena, I like a good theatre is a cozy little place. It would have been hard to fool an audience in such an intimate setting, don't you think? Yeah, I guess you're right. Good. I'm glad we could clear that up, because I guess you could say the entire audience was my witness.
Hold it!
Was there anything special about the stage or performance that you can tell me? For example, were the lights dimmer than usual? Were there any problems or accidents? Can you incriminate yourself for me? Not a thing. Everything was the same as always. Mr. Prosecutor, you questioned the audience, didn't you? Yes, of course. Apparently nothing seemed amiss to them except, well, one small thing. One small thing? Oh, it's so embarrassing. I tried my best, really, I did. But my performance was a huge bust, not a single soul laughed.
Hold it!
Do you have any idea what went wrong? I'm not sure if it was my performance, or if it was just that particular audience. Or maybe it was the story I picked. But every entertainer knows this kind of thing happens from time to time. I guess that makes sense. Still, I wonder how he could have flopped at his own commemorative show. Maybe I should dig into things a bit more. Oh, should I? Number of audience members is kind of completely irrelevant. So let's go for what Uendo performed, which we kind of know because it was on the list there, unless he says he performed something different. Could you tell me which Rakugo story you performed? I could, but I'm not sure if it would mean anything to the uninitiated. Well, even if I might not get it, can you at least try me? Alright, if you insist. The story I performed is called Tokisoba, otherwise known as Time Soba. Wait, that's not what you were supposed to do, was it? When it was to do Sober Glutton, Master Tornado was performing Time Sober. Hello. Time Sober, huh? Maybe Uendo's right. He's only said the name of the routine and I'm already lost. Ah, so you performed Time Sober, did you? What? You know it, Prosecutor Sad Maddie. In the course of my studies last night, I became familiar with a number of stories. I must say, defense, you would do well to prepare yours better for your next trial. Ah! Simon, what's Time Sober about? Look it up yourself. Allow me to give an overview. The story takes place on a winter's night. Man orders a bowl of soba at a street stall. How you doing, sir? What can I get for you? I see you've got seaweed-topped halamaki soba and mixed-topping shippoku soba. I'll have a bowl of shippoku, my good man. It sure is cold tonight, isn't it? But there's nothing like a hot bowl of noodles and soup to warm the soul. You know it, sir. One shippoku coming right up. So how's business? Not so great, sir. Is that so? Well, that's great, because things can only get better from here, right? Wow, prosecutor! The customer talks on and on like this. Finally, when he is done eating, he goes to pay for soba. So how much do I owe you? I'll be 16 mon, sir. I see. Sorry, but I only have small change on me. I'll count the coins into your palm, so could you hold onto your hand for me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... Hey, what time is it? It's 9, sir. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16... Thanks! And bye!
Very well done, Prosecutor Sad Maddie. That was excellent, and that was a weird laugh.
Huh, I don't get it. What was so funny about that?
Don't you see? The customer paid with coins, count them out one by one. Then, just after counting 8, he asked about the time. And the soba vendor answered with 9.
Oh, now I get it. He made the vendor say 9, and then he continued counting from 10.
Exactly. He cheated the soba vendor out of 1 mon with his smooth talking. The story continues with another man who saw the whole thing and tries to do the same. But he bungles the trick and ends up paying more than 16 mon for his soba. The story ends on that as the punchline. You can look up the rest of the details yourself. Or I'm sure Prosecutor Sad Monk over there would love to perform it for you after court.
So basically, it's a story about a man cheating on his sober bill. That's kind of petty, isn't it?
Is that really all you have to say about this classic story? Time soba is such a well-known staple of Rakugo that the skill of the artist is critical in... Fine, so you studied a lot. But we haven't had the time for a lecture detour right now, Prosecutor Sad Monk. I wanted to hear a little more, but I suppose it is off topic. Getting back to the matter at hand, Miss Sykes, the witness stated that the story I performed is called Tokisoba, otherwise known as Time Soba. Would you like to add this statement to his testimony?
Should I have that statement added to the testimony?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to have it added.
Very well.
The story I performed is called Tokisoba, otherwise known as Time Soba.
No, it ain't.
Because we know that's, well, it might be what you performed, but it wasn't what you were supposed to.
Objection!
Uendo, isn't there something odd about the routine you performed?
Odd? No, I don't think there's anything odd about it.
But that's exactly what I find odd. The fact that you don't think it's odd.
Objection!
We are discussing the witness's alibi at the moment, defense. The show's program is completely irrelevant.
Objection!
That's where you're wrong, Prosecutor Sabmadi. The reason being, it contradicts the statement the witness just made. Uendo, do you know what this is?
No. What is it?
This is an invitation to the show sent from Master Tornado to Prosecutor Blackquill. Including the invitation is a rundown of the show's program which clearly states the Time Soba was to be performed by Master Tornado himself.
No. Uendo, why did you perform the routine your master was scheduled to do? Well, you see, the reason for that is... How do I say this? You see, let's say it was a prank. That's right! It was a little joke, you see! Haha! I was trying to surprise Shisho by performing his routine before he did. That's not a prank, that's malicious. I don't know if I'd buy that. Was doing the victim's routine really just for laughs, or... Hey, didn't Simon happen to hear Time Soba coming from the dressing room? During Uendo's performance on stage? It seems like too much of a coincidence. Wait, can it be...
What's the matter? You look like a hen with a dozen eggs to lay.
Stop comparing me to birds!
Then cease this bird-brain timidity. If something has occurred to you, then lay it out for us already. Don't breed resentment in those watching your performance. Puns.
Okay.
Lay out, breed, okay. Eggs, laying, sure.
I don't have a ton of confidence in his theory, but here goes. It looks like Uendo's alibi checks out, Your Honor, but even though he was on stage at the time, he may have been trying to obfuscate a crucial detail about this case.
Are you referring to the sober bill the man tried to skimp on in the witness's story?
I'm not talking about the Rakugo story, Your Honor.
Oh, I'm sorry, but then what are you talking about, Miss Sykes?
What Uendo may have been trying to deceive us about was the cause of the victim's death, the time of the victim's death, or what the victim was to perform. Obviously, you'd say the time. Uendo tried to deceive us about the time of the victim's death.
What?
Ah!
Objection!
What gibberish. Prosecutor Blackwell even testified to the time of the victim's death.
I know. But he only testified that way because he and Geru had been completely taken in.
You mean by the sober bill thing?
Would you please forget about the story for a second, Your Honor?
I was deceived.
Pray tell, how did Uendo manage to deceive two people while he was performing on stage?
That's easy. All he had to do was use a certain prop in the dressing room.
Oh, And what might that be?
The proper Uendo used was
Take that!
the TV. This TV was used to view what was happening on the stage. Prosecutor Blackquill, when you came to the dressing room, what was Uendo doing?
He was performing time sober. Blast! Could it be?
Yes, it could, and it was. What you and Gelu heard was not Master Tornado practicing his routine. It was Uendo's performance as heard through this TV monitor's speakers.
What? What?
The TV just inside the inner door of the dressing room. It could easily be heard from the hallway outside.
And because we knew that Master Tornado was scheduled to perform time sober, we were easily manipulated into thinking he was still alive at the time rehearsing.
Yes, your knowledge of the day's program is why the two of you could be fooled this way. Simon, did the voice you hear belong to Master Tornado?
With the doors in the way, I couldn't tell exactly who the voice belonged to. But because I heard time sober, I just assumed it was Master Tornado. I can't believe I was taken in by such a simple mind game.
Objection!
All of that is mere conjecture. Where is your proof defense?
Objection!
Uendo moved the TV back when he discovered the body. After all, he couldn't very well leave it by the door. Because then someone might figure out the trick he'd been playing.
Ugh.
And there's one more thing about Uendo's actions that's suspicious.
And that is?
The fact that he flopped so badly on such an important occasion.
What's so suspicious about that? Even pros slip up once in a while, you know.
But I believe that this time it was intentional.
Ah, we're such a good bit. But it comes to the end of our allotted time. The end of yet another episode. This drama will continue. Our performance will continue. And next time on Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice, as Athena gets to the bottom of all this obfuscation of time. Join me next time for cliffhangers and more. Bye-bye.